Senator Hoeven with us online. Senator Hoeven? Senator Hoeven, are you with us?
I'm sorry, I thought I had unmuted. Maybe it got muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we do. Every one of us does that at least once every day.
I
So
know,
welcome to
got
the
it
club.
exactly. Thank you,
Senator
thank you, Madam Chair. And let me start with a question for all the witnesses. Essentially, in the your subcommittee put out a report, Managing Climate Risk in the U.S. Financial System. And I want to get your response in regard to that. In North Dakota, we produce 1.1 million barrels of oil a day. We produce huge amounts of natural gas. We have coal-fired electricity. And so I'd like each of you to respond on whether you think there should be preferences for one commodity fuel type over another in terms of this climate risk report.
Senator, thank you. And North Dakota has a special place in the hearts of my family, as I said in my statement. You know, climate's a hard issue that needs to be thoughtfully studied. And, you know, I believe in the power of the markets to provide solutions here. And there's opportunities to have new products to deal with the physical and transition risks. So thank you.
Senator, just to echo what my fellow nominee said, I think that it's important that our work at the CFTC remains neutral as to the commodity, that we are making sure that these markets function regardless of the underlying asset.
Thank you so much, Senator, for that question. I believe that the CFTC has a long history of even-handed engagement in the context of markets, and I would imagine that tradition should continue, and understand your question and agree that there should be no preferences.
Thank you, Senator Hoeven. The derivatives markets are incredibly important in the energy sector to help manage that risk. And as we move forward, I think the CFTC's role is just to really try to engage and understand that risk and to be fully engaged with stakeholders, to listen to all sides and look at the facts. And I've confirmed that's what I would do.
All right, Ms. Merzinger, excuse me, understand that you worked with Senator Thune for quite a while as a member of his staff. That's great. So you certainly understand agriculture in our part of the world. Tell me, you know, what can the CFTC do that really is going to help our farmers and ranchers manage their risk? I mean, it's a hard thing to do. What can the CFTC do, in your opinion, to really make a difference for them?
Thank you, Senator Hoeven. And I will say that I have a number of family members in North Dakota and enjoyed many long car trips up north as a child. So very
well, we love South Dakota. We love our neighbor state.
As far as, you know, how we work with the America's farmers and ranchers to help them hedge risk and use the CFTC markets, it is important to note that that's where our market started, and the idea was to ensure that farmers and ranchers were able to have adequate price discovery in their markets and also the tools to hedge their risk. And we should never get away from that, and we need to always be engaged with those stakeholders and to ensure that those markets are working that way. The other thing I would add is we do have an Office of Education and Outreach, and I think that we could use that office to better engage with the farmers and ranchers to help them understand these markets and how they can be useful.
Thank you. Ms. Romero, just a wrap-up question here. Address cryptocurrency and how we're going to regulate that and give consumers, you know, some knowledge of how it works. And I mean, it's just incredibly complicated. I think people are really scratching their heads. What can CFTC do to really help in that realm?
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate that. I think a lot of people are getting confused by this. There's been this explosive growth, particularly in the retail market, where you have people who are buying crypto on a phone app who may not understand there's a lack of customer protections, particularly if they're doing a transaction side by side with another transaction that does have the customer protections. So I think the CFTC should continue to be a leader. I think they should help do the best they can to keep the market as safe as possible. They do have authority to police the spot market, but they do have limited visibility, and I think this is an area where Congress could help. But I do think we have to balance, and balance the mission. This is what I'll be grounded in if I'm confirmed, of promoting part of the mission to promote vibrant markets while also keeping them safe and doing it in a way that promotes market integrity.
Thank you. Thank you to all the witnesses, and thank you to you, Madam Chair.